never existed. You could answer Adolf Hitler, Osama bin Laden, or the principal. My friend was suspended because he was being pantsed continuously one day. After the 4th or 5th time, everyone realized he was just pulling his own shorts down quickly in hall between classes. Friend of mine was nearly expelled for actually being pantsed. Some kid kept doing it to her, and they tried to expel her for public indecency. Her parents brought a lawyer in and the school immediately backed off. Far as I know, the other kid never got in trouble. When I was 17, I had to write a paper about what I would do if it was my last 24 hours on earth. Being a jackal's eye out things like blow stuff up and rob liquor stores. Well, my teacher thought I was serious and turned the paper into the principal, who turned it into the police. I got charged with a felony for threats of terrorism and expelled for 6 months. Not really embarrassing, I guess, but funny, nevertheless. A kid in my school got suspended for not only masturbating in the hot geometry teacher's class, but not stopping when she caught him. Not expelled, but suspended. Stupid boy mucking around in art class. Teacher has had enough of it and sends him to sit in the art cabinet on his own for 10 minutes. In most Australian schools, the art cabinet is a small walk-in cupboard with a sliding door. After 2 minutes, the teacher feels mean for sending him in there, and goes in to check on him. He's got his pants down around his ankle and is having a wank. Continues to do it as the teacher is screaming and the whole class can see him through the now open sliding door. He is now well known around the area as the Phantom Puller. This boy is not mentally handicapped in any way. Just a full-on idiot. His dad has been friends with my dad for a long time. And naturally he's one of those boys who has developed a long-time crush on me. We are now 22 and he still manages to find me whenever I return to my hometown, with his piss-taking friends egging him on. When I was in high school, I think my sophomore year, there was a senior who was expelled and not allowed to attend graduation because of a tiny pocket knife keychain in his car. It was one of those little freebie ones. At the time, I believe they came with a particular multi-pack of film, about 1.5 inches long, with a keyring, and containing only a single blade and a nail file. I think it was barely usable as a letter opener. The guy had one. Its ring connected to a bunch of other random keychains in a pile on the dashboard of his car. The dean happened to be walking through the parking lot and saw it, figured out whose car it was, and he was expelled for having a knife at school. Same year. Earlier on, someone was expelled for a short piece of scrap copper pipe found in his locker, a leftover from some clutch repair he'd done to his car. It was considered to be drug paraphernalia. Zero tolerance is horribly stupid. When I was in junior high, we had a large Hurricane Gloria, which hit our town. And due to electricity being out, trees on the roads, flooding, etc., we were off of school for 2 weeks. My vacation was 2 weeks plus a day. Since I was sent home, not expelled, for wearing a homemade shirt that said I was blown by Gloria on my first day back. We had 2 kids a few years ago who were caught having sex on school grounds. Nothing really that abnormal except that they did it on the school oval in the early hours of the morning and were supposedly caught by the school priest. The priest in question lives on the school grounds and likes to go on walks in the early morning. Can you imagine the conversation that ensued? I went to a Protestant school in Australia. My very good friend had just died from bone cancer. My girlfriend was comforting me and hugging me as I was crying my eyes out. A teacher came past and told she to move away as there was a no touching rule. My girlfriend nicely and calmly explained the situation to the teacher, who responded by explaining that she was not concerned by this. I subsequently told her to get ducked. I was marched up to the principal's office in front of all my mates. A crying, blithering mess where I was told I would be taking a week off school due to suspension. Edit. The reason I was at school was because he had been in hospital for over a month and I was only made aware of his passing in the bus trip in. This all occurred before the school rang for first period. In 8th grade, an older cousin taught me how to play craps. Like an idiot I started running a casino-like thing at lunch. Anyways, I got caught with a massive bag of money and was suspended. My school had a policy that if you were suspended and got in trouble again you would be expelled. About a month later I jumped in and puddled and was sent to the principal. They wanted to expel me, but my parents argued it would ruin my future as I had a perfect academic record. Ended up narrowly escaping expulsion for jumping in a puddle. But did you get to keep the massive bag of money? No. It was confiscated. It was probably like $30. But at the time it was a lot of money to make all by myself. This kid in 8th grade, I was a freshman in high school but we all knew him from middle school, was on one of those free webcam sites chatting with girls and was fapping in class. The teacher was newish, probably her second year, and she was probably 25 years old, and when she saw his computer screen she apparently broke down in tears. Kid got expelled quick. Edit. I like all the theories but I really can't answer. I have no clue why she cried. A girl that was in 9th when I was in grade 10 was expelled for giving head to 3 guys at the same time in a dark auditorium during first block. And on more than one occasion. 2 8th graders from some school in a pretty upper class area were caught ducking in the elevator. On camera. In the elevator. At school. Okay then. A line outside of the men's bathroom for free BJS. There must have been 15-20 people in line once they found out it was going down. She was new to the school and I guess wanted to service the boys. She was expelled right away. Her nickname, Roboho. Couple got caught having sex in the stairwell. On the stairs in front of the camera. One of the only cameras in school that actually worked. I don't know how it worked at your school, but there was a designated stairwell for this at mine. There was little foot traffic, no cameras, and plenty of used condoms. It was a gross stairwell. In cooking class a girl was flipping a knife around for God knows why and lost her grip. Ended stabbing herself smack dab in the nether regions. She had suspended for violation of some safety rule or something, but damn it must have sucked. TLDR, knife in pussy. Edit, pop my cherry. Thanks for the gold. Kind stranger. My brother's friend prank called their teacher while my bro was at his house. The kid ended up getting found out. My brother went in and told them he was there. They would never have known either without him admitting it. As a reward for his honesty he was suspended for 6 days and had to clean the school. This one guy took a wire to a socket and short-circuited it. The entire building lost power. Building wiring doesn't work that way. Per the National Electric Code. The entire building wasn't on one circuit. Edit, turns out that it's from an area without such codes. My mistake. A guy at my school got expelled and arrested for photocopying dollar bills onto regular paper and trying to use them in the cafeteria. They also found a garbage bag full of them in a dumpster by his house. Last year, there was a whole operation dedicated to stealing money from the cafeteria. They would print fake tens and buy a $1 item with the fake, receiving $9 real dollars back. Of course, they varied the bills they used but eventually got caught. They made something like $900 in a week. 2 kids, guy and girl, were expelled from my private school for giving oral in one of the staircases. The whole thing was recorded on video and shown to the students' parents. The parents had to sit and watch their kids give oral sex with the superintendent and dean of the school. Edit, I have no idea if this is considered child pornography or just evidence in case the kids who were expelled decide to sue the school. A student at our local middle school, age 13, got expelled for selling LSD to another 13-year-old classmate during a passing period. How the duck does a 13 years old get acid? Little bastard has some good hookups. A guy in my class got expelled because a branch fell out of a tree in front of his feet and they thought he broke it. I don't see why this would be an expulsion even if he did break it. I was expelled from school because I got on MySpace and told an internet friend that I wanted to put my bully in the hospital. You know. Beat the shit out of him. Well, Her mother sees that threat 2 weeks later and notifies my school, and I was kicked out for threats of terrorism and was told to never come back to that school. Honestly, I never touched the guy and didn't plan to. I was just venting out my anger because the school never did a damn thing when I told them I was being bullied. I don't talk out loud about my emotions anymore because that little vent sucked up my life. I was 14. I had no other school to go to, so I waited until I was of age and got my get. Life has been a struggle because of that. But I learned my lesson at least. So yeah. When I meet people and the subject of school or anything related to that subject comes up, I have to explain that I was kicked out of school because of what I said on MySpace. The humiliation kills me every time. A girl in my school wasn't formally expelled. However, she was slut-shamed into homeschooling. Essentially, she gave this one dude a BJ. Went and bragged about it. And then when everyone called her a slut, she changed her story and called it sexual assault. The guy almost got expelled for sexual assault too. I used to work as an office monitor in the 8th grade, and while picking up referral forms, what was used to write people up, there were two that caught my eye. 1. A kid who popped a Viagra and started jerking it in class. When the teacher saw him and asked him to stop, he refused and kept going. 2. Two kids got caught in the bathroom. A dude was getting head from a girl in a stall. What's weird is that the kids in number 2 got expelled. But a dude I knew who got blown in the back of the bus a year earlier, and the girl who blew him just got suspended. Not expelled. I had a friend in high school who got expelled, later reinstated, because a girl said that he threatened her and then later changed her story to she felt threatened by him. This girl would sit behind him in class and accuse his father of cheating on his mom and being a terrible person for basically no reason. She had this little loser minion who followed her around and basically did whatever she said. Pretty sure the guy was in love with her. So anyway, after like 2 years of this shit, he tells her to shut the duck up. Then he gets expelled. It was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. I'm in high school currently. And last year a friend was expelled for writing a death threat to a teacher and also made a hit list. Nobody would have known it was him except he dropped it in the hall and the teacher picked it up and read it. I'm glad he got caught. Also, a couple got caught having sex in the bathroom when a teacher walked in. Why did a teacher walk in? They were using a teacher's only bathroom. After getting suspended, the guy threatened to shoot up the school. Yeah, he's gone now. My friend ended up getting kicked out mainly because of me. We weren't in school at the time but at a boarding house with about 15 other boys. We were doing normal teenage tomfoolery and decided to steal a boy's clothes. We then proceeded to chase him down the corridor at full speed, whipping his ass with a towel. Now the problem was about halfway down the corridor a family of a prospective student was being shown around, only to be greeted by a naked boy running full speed at them with 2 of us chasing him with towels. He got expelled and we had exclusions. I feel kinda bad about it, but he had been in trouble before. TLDR, prospective student and family greeted by crying naked boy being whipped by towels. Jerking it behind his math textbook. When the anthem came over the PA, only part of him was standing at attention. My niece just got expelled from school for convincing another child to take off his pants. But she is 3 years old, so I don't understand why it is such a big deal. There was that middle school girl that got expelled for sharing Drew Gus because she was having an asthma attack and used a friend's inhaler. Source. My ex-boyfriend got expelled for jerking off in class and wiping it in a girl's hair. We dated twice. He tried to have sex with me after like a week with a just a tip strategy. Oh honey,